Hello everyone. Today we're in Enola, Pennsylvania at the east end of Enola Yard. We're here on this very windy day to see tag unit number 4851 trailing second on 12G. This train, however, has to clear the way. As I was looking into the yard on the other side of the bridge, I looked behind me and saw out of the corner of my eye what it looked like is that a tree had fallen over the coupler of two coil cars. A little later, the train started moving, and there seemed to be no problems. Getting away from this nature nonsense, as you can see behind one of the boxcars, 12G is waiting for this train to clear, and this train we later found out is H53. We headed down the road that runs parallel to the tracks, and we didn't see was a tag unit. Looked bad. We headed up to the Rockville Bridge to see the power, which consisted of an SD40E and an SD60E, only to be surprised by NS255, a brand new intermodal train coming out of Staten Island, New York. We yet again passed the tag unit on our way back to the bridge, before making it back to said bridge just in time to see H53 departing, with the tree now fallen off. With H53 gone, we knew it wouldn't be long until the tag unit pulled into Enola Yard. However, a yard power set had different ideas.
What do you think?
With that yard set finally out of the way, all that was needed was the conductor to flip the switch before 12G could finally head into Enola Yard. However, a light power of 3C6M has decided they wanted to block it now.
Try!
Seriously, can anything get into Enola Yard?
Nope.
Okay, both light power sets gone, and 12G is finally rolling into the yard. Once they pulled onto the bridge, the conductor got off the front of the engine to flip the switch. The lead locomotive on this train is NS 4014. I have seen this locomotive a total of 4 times now, and it is stalking me, especially with recent events. That light power set will continue doing its thing in the yard, and some engine is being started down at the Enola locomotive shops, but we will be down there later. Once the conductor flipped the switch, it seemed everything was set for 12G, except these two people appeared. These guys appeared to be the crew of another local with 2 SC60s in the lead. With some random intermodal flying over the Rockville Bridge, these two engines started reversing back into another yard. 6970 has something or another in the cab which I can't read, but if you can, comment it down below. Anyway, those two locomotives reversed back in the yard. And cleared the way for 12G to finally pull into Enola with the big boy leading and the prize of the day, the tag, trailing second. Once 12G was far enough into the yard that we couldn't see the tag, we headed over to Enola where we saw Operation Lifesaver. A high hood right in the corner there. And then as 1072, the Illinois terminal that was moved from Rutherford into Enola. Also here was a thoroughbred GP60 and an ex-Maryland and Delaware RS3 that went somewhere into the yard that I couldn't see. It ended up going up the Buffalo line that night, so I wasn't going to see it anyway.